Welcome, Sarai. This will be a playthrough or a read-through of a text-based game that I am currently working on. Hope you enjoy the story.
Okay, first things first. This is my thank you message, because writing is so crazy. I feel like I am doing a lot, but I don't really feel like the changes monetarily. So a lot of support is needed. So shout out to them.
Lol, this AI voice is sending me. Because I am trying to be sincere, but everything is sounding like a joke or like I am trolling. But anyway, the next page is my clan saying, inserts beating chest emoji. Then these are the social media platforms you can check out my writing content on. Now the story officially begins. I sort of like give a thought or an emotion that stood out to me while thinking up this story. FYI, this Bible verse truly stands out to me. So the story starts a bit abruptly, with you carrying a large shield that is way too heavy. You carry your shield towards a barbarian, whom you consider to be your second mother, the moment your name is called. Since this is an interactive fiction, you actually get to choose your name. Insert a deep in thought emoji here, guys. So I decided to go with horse as a name. However, since I actually mention horses in the story, I thought this might be confusing, so I went with the name Horsey instead. By the way, this name choice will make sense in the story. Now back to the story. Once you give her the large shield, she thanks you by rubbing the top of your head. You get to decide what hairstyle is actually on the top of your head. For instance, are you bald or do you have braids? Those are just the two examples. By the way, choosing braids actually has some additional dialogue because that's her hairstyle as well. And then this is where that previous choice of choosing the character's name to be Horsey starts to make sense. So some background story. The young barbarians or orcs don't actually develop consciousness until they are much older. So that's why in this flashback none of your second mother's words makes any sense, despite being 6 years old. In the middle of your flashback, your second mother walks out of the tent, armed with a shield and an axe. You quickly step out of the tent, and you are immediately greeted by the smell of sweat and rotten flesh. All around you, your fellow barbarians march out of the camp. You want to follow your second mother, but you know that you are just too young to be in the front lines with her. You are only 6 years old, so you have to go stand with the reserve. She bids you farewell and you make your way to stand with the reserve, who are all barbarians that are around your age. As you make your way towards them though, you bump into a larger and much older barbarian who has yellow beady eyes and rough green skin. The moment you bump into him, you fall onto your buttocks and he releases a dry long laugh. His laugh is grating to hear and sounds like it is filled with phlegm. He stands over you armed with a bone that has been sharpened into a spear. You consider whether you should lower your gaze in submission or stare at him defiantly. Filled with anger of being pushed to the ground and then laughed at, you slowly get to your feet and stare at him defiantly, refusing to submit to any other barbarian. The moment your gaze tightens and you direct your anger towards him, is also the moment that all laughter left him and he plunged his sharpened bone through you. You have reached the end of this playthrough. However, you can always start again and choose a different decision. Anyway, stay tuned for next time to see how the story unfolds, or you could also visit the Choice of Games forum where the demo is currently available to read or to play. Thank you. By the way, I also wanted to show you the status screen. A little bit of the mechanics.